Hi guys, welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as we build up to the League Cup, the Carabao Cup third round away to Coventry City Wednesday at a 7:45 kickoff, guys. It is live on Sky Sports. Plus, they're showing all the League Cup games there, guys, but it is all on course on Fubo TV, and also I think on America it's on Peacock or NBC Sports. So we're an Optus TV for you in Australia. So wherever you're watching it, that is where the game is covered. But if you want to watch football, do hit the link in the description. Do pick up our VPN, who are now our official sponsors. Private Access Internet, the best VPN company around. Over 30 million people use them. It will give you the best offer ever. €43 for 2 years plus 4 months free on top of that, guys. So please do that. Help them. It helps us as we provide you the best VPN to watch all the Tottenham games, home and away, wherever they're playing in the world. You'll be able to watch it for free. So do it, guys. It really is a great thing. The link will be in the description. And on this video, I am going to talk a bit about the build up to the Coventry City game. I'm going to go over a few bits and pieces as well. Firstly, I want to talk a little bit about Ange. I know I did it yesterday. And this all comes about from the defeat at Arsenal. And we were talking about it last night. Just let me get the right thing up. Of his next 5 games in charge. Now, of course, we're away at Coventry tomorrow, and then we've got Brentford and Man United in the Premier League, and then we've got the 2 games in the Europa League, home and away. And tomorrow's game is so vital for Ange. The board have come out and said, this is our man. We're going to back him. We're going to back Ange to the hilt. And rightly so they should back him, because there's no point sacking a manager and start the process again. It just isn't worth it. It's just too much. To be honest with you, it's sort of bullshit. And it is bullshit, because if you keep sacking managers, you're not progressing. You just keep rinsing and repeat, rinsing and repeat. And again, I will go through it with the predicted lineup. I was so shocked when I saw this lineup that I had to go with it, because it's the back 4 that worries me. And where no team has a right to win a game, we should be going to Coventry tomorrow night and winning that game, and winning it convincingly. And it's important that we get some momentum going. We get some momentum going. Winning games breeds confidence. Confidence breeds momentum. Momentum breeds, that sort of attitude. Right, we can go into this game and we're going to win it. We didn't see any of that on Sunday against Arsenal. And it was toothless. And too many players hid. Too many players threw Ange under the bus on Sunday. And that's what it seems like for me, that Ange Postecoglou has a way of playing. And I'm one of his biggest fans, because I'm a massive Celtic fan as well. And we know what he did at Celtic. But if you provide Ange with the right players for his system, it will work. But if you don't provide him with the right players, it will not work. And it's proven that we did not provide them with the right players. Because if you look at our next 5 games, they're vital for his job security. If we say we lose against Coventry and we lose against Brentford, and then we lose in the first round of the Europa League, you're looking at 4 defeats in a row. We're going into the Man United game. He is severely under pressure to get a result out of that. If he doesn't get a result out of that, he might be gone. Tomorrow is vital that the team go out and put in a performance, and put in a full-blown performance to ease the fans' pressure and ease the fans' minds over Ange, that Ange can bring us success, and C and B, ease the pressure on himself. Because there's too many players that are not playing for him. And tomorrow night, it's a game that is so vital. That it's a game we didn't take seriously last year. It's a trophy. It's a chance to win something. And we didn't take it seriously last year. And I'm just hope to God he takes the cup seriously this year. I would take it if we finish 8th or 9th, but we've won a trophy. I'd take that. I would take that. I would bite your hand off for that. I don't want to finish fourth and, yeah, we're in the Champions League. That lasts all the 5 minutes. Being in the Champions League, you qualified the Champions League. Yeah, you get all excited and you think, well, that's it. And then you get all excited for the draw, and then that's it. You win a trophy. That stays with you for the whole summer. You know, Spurs won a trophy. We are the champions of that competition. And that's what I want to see tomorrow night. Then we've got Brentford on the Premier League, where we really need to get our act together in the Premier League. We start a Europa League campaign. And then we've got Man United, which is no easy game. And then we've got Europa League again. So these next 5 games for me are vital for our season and Angie's season. If he wins 4 out of the next 5, then I think that's fine. If he wins, if he beats Coventry, beats Brentford, win the Europa League, draw against United, and win and the other Europa League, then that's grand too. But he's got to get results. These players have got to start playing. Well, look, guys, I am going to go through the predicted lineup, and this is what I was digging around. Just let me take that down, guys. There we go. That is the predicted lineup. It is Vicario in goal. We've got a back four, Jed Spencer, Rudu, Mickey van der Ven, and Ben Davies. Now, that really worries me. Firstly, on Vicario, right? I blame partly him for the goal on Sunday as well, because his area is a 6-yard area. That's his to command. That's his area. That is where he is boss. And he should have came for that ball. Most keepers would have gone out for that ball and absolutely flattened the player, got the ball. Now, he may have been fouled himself, and then the referee gives a foul. It's not a goal. But he didn't. He stood there. Romero switched off. Romero's head's in Real Madrid land. He needs to get his head out of his ass and start thinking about his bread and butter, who he's playing for. Not who he could be playing for, but who he's playing for. And if it comes to the summer, he wants to leave, then sell him. Because he's got 2 years left in his contract. And then I'd rather get something out of him than get into last year and have the Harry Kane scenario again. But if he wants to stay at Spurs, like he says, and win something at Spurs, he's got to help the manager through the tough times as well as reap the rewards on the good times. You just can't go missing. Too many players went missing on Sunday. Mickey van der Ven, look, I think you had to play one or the other. So, but what worries me about Mickey van der Ven is that he's got his hamstring, and that's fragile, and that could go at any time. Why I think he hasn't played Romero is to give him a rest. And I was watching a Spurs channel this morning, and I totally agree on what they said. They rushed Romero back where they didn't need to. If you look at the way Rudu played against Newcastle, I thought he did play all right. He had a good game. And I think if we had played him for the start and give Romero that bit of time to recover from playing the Copa America, for playing other, the traveling as well, and it takes an awful lot out of you. So, I think we did rush him back. And I think this is where the mistakes may be coming in with Romero, that he's mentally tired. He needs a break. He needs to reset himself. So I can understand Ange leaving him out tomorrow night and going to Ben Davies. That for me is a weak link. Ben Davies cannot play a fullback's role. He hasn't got the pace to play there anymore. He hasn't got the pace, and we're going to be murdered down there. And how many times has Ben Davies made mistakes? Yeah, he's got us out of problems before. He's played well in games, and we've always said, yeah, Ben Davies was the best of a bad lot with Eric Dyer and Sanchez, Don Belly, all them. We always sort of give Ben Davies a little bit of leeway. But Ben Davies, for me, is a club man. Does all the club, does all the promotional stuff, does all the stuff that other players don't want to do. And Ben Davies will do that. So I think, yeah, fine. Let him do that. But he's got to come in. He's got to perform tomorrow night. He's got to do his job. And too many times in the past, Ben Davies hasn't done his job. And he's let his man skin him. He hasn't got the pace. So I'm really worried I'm playing Ben Davies there. The midfield, Bentancur and Papa Sarr. I would have played Archie Gray tomorrow night, and I've said this before. I will play. There's no point playing 40 million for a player and not playing him. And I would have played him and Papa Sarr together, to be fair, because I think they probably would play better instead of him and Bentancur. But look, he's went for Bentancur and Papa Sarr. For me, Archie Gray would have been in there instead of Bentancur. But that's just my opinion. Ange may know different. Ange sees them every day in training. So maybe he's seen something in Archie Gray that maybe he thinks he's not ready. Who knows? We've got an attacking 3 or 4, but we're going to start with the midfield of Thomas Werner. We've got Lucas Bargville and William Odegaard. And look, for me, Werner offers nothing down that right side. And this is where, again, I keep saying, the transfer window's coming back to bite us in the arse because we didn't pay a proper money for somebody on that side. Sonny is now getting to a point where Sonny, and I think the Keeler said it, and I'm trying not to put words in his mouth, but he says that Sonny is now the start of a decline. Maybe he is, but Werner, we could have done a lot better than Werner. He offered nothing on Sunday, and he will offer nothing tomorrow night. Lucas Bergveld, I know Philip the Godfather, he loves him. And I have to admit, I do too. He reminds me of a young Glenn Hoddle. He will pull the strings in that midfield. And I have to give Madison credit where credit's due. He always wanted the ball on Sunday. He didn't go hiding. He tried. But he had no runners down either wing. And another thing as well with Werner, I'm glad Ange has taken Johnson out of the firing line. He needs to take him out for a few bits now and take him out for a few games. Let him gain his confidence back. But you don't play Sonny. You got Werner. I think, again, we're weak on that side. So that's a weak link on that side. Odegaard, he's raw, as somebody said on another channel. He's raw. He just wants to play football. He just wants to run at defenders. He just wants to. He's got pace to burn. And I think Dave said it. He needs his composure a little bit when he gets into these positions. And I agree with that. He does need to show a bit of composure. And that will come with experience. That will come with more game time. So I like Odegaard. I'm very excited by Bergville and Odegaard. And then up front, we've got Solanke. Now, Colin said last night on our show that we talked about this game slightly, that he would have played Lancashire. Now, I would too, but I think Solanke needs the game time. I think he needs to get his confidence in front of goal. But why do we keep buying players that are not there? We were in for Gimenez. That deal was nearly done. We didn't go for it. Why did it break down? For every reason we don't know. Jonathan David, we're in for him. It didn't work out for some reason. And then we're sort of scrambling around. Who can we get? Who can we get? Ivan Toney wants $250,000 a week. Well, he's too expensive. Or let's go for Solanke at Bournemouth. He's had a good season. One good season. Everyone said that about Harry Kane when they had his season, but Harry Kane backed it up the following season. Solanke needs to back up last season if he wants to be a proper Premier League striker. And he's failed at Liverpool. He failed at Chelsea. Fair play to him. He went away, rebuilt his career, come back with Bournemouth. Now he's got another chance at a big club. And he needs to perform at the highest level. His job is to come in and score goals. He needs to start scoring goals. And I tell you, he's not the only one. Our attacking tree at the moment is absolutely woeful. It is woeful. And nobody's taking responsibility. Nobody's taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Right, give me the ball. I'll put it in the net. And I feel after Sunday that a lot of players are throwing Ange under the bus. Maybe they're a bit disinterested in the way Ange plays. I mean, we all criticised Conte ball and Mourinho ball. And now there's people saying we need a defensive manager in. Well, it's either one way or the other. You can't have both. And we've had these great managers in that have won things everywhere, but they haven't lasted long. So this is why I'm glad that the board have come out and backed Ange and backed him this is our man. We're going to back him. But I'll tell you one thing. I will tell you one thing. I will tell you one thing, though. If we lose any of these games here, we need to win Leeds 4 out of the next 5 and not lose against Man United. But tomorrow night's vital. Tomorrow night, it's vital that the team put in a performance for Ange, put in a performance for us to prove that, okay, maybe we've had a great start to the season, the worst start in 9 years in the Premier League, but maybe there is light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there is. I just don't know. And for me, it is so vital. It is vital we get a win tomorrow. It's vital that the players put in a performance that proves to us fans that these players are behind Ange. And that is the problem. They have not proven that. And for me, the next 5 games are vital. Tequila, how are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I thought I'd come in and join you.
Yeah, I mean,
hello,
look,
everybody watching. What are you talking about,
yeah.
dude?
Well, I'm just going through the predicted lineup. This is the predicted lineup for tomorrow. Let me take that off. And let me make it bigger so people can see it. That back 4 worries me, Tequila. That back 4 really worries me.
Let me see what you've put. Let's have a look. Big screen.
No, I've gone from Vicaria on goal. This was the predicted lineup I found on multiple Spurs sites of Jed Spence, Rudu, Mickey van der Ven, and Ben Davis. That back 4 worries me. And look,
it should be, quote unquote, it should be. You've got Dragusin, and is it confirmed Mickey van der Ven's really going to play tomorrow?
Yeah, well, it's either him or Romero. I think Romero.
Remember when we were all saying in the transfer window that we needed another left-sided defender? Well, you can see why, can't you?
Yeah, I've said it. I've said it to kill it. The transfer window's come and bite us on the arse. It has come. It has bit us on.
Everybody was more or less saying we need a number 6, a proper defensive-minded number 6, and we needed a defender who could cover left back and left central defense, and we got neither. So this is what we have.
Yeah.
Yes, that worries me considerably, but they are still meant to be a championship team. I know they did well last year, especially in the FA Cup. I know they did very well, but I don't think they're pulling up any trees in the championship. They certainly didn't last year. So even that team there is full of mostly internationals, all right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 centre-halves, both international centre-halves. Vicario is the backup goalie for Italy. Papi Mavasai is an international player. Bentancur plays for Uruguay. So other than the forward line, which is the worst part of the team for me, that should be easily enough to beat a championship team, especially a mid-table like championship team like Coventry. It should be, even that team. That's it. So it should be.
Look, it should be. And look, I would have played Archie Gray tomorrow night instead of Bentancur. But what's the point of paying 40 million for Archie Gray if you're not going to play him? And I would have played Archie Gray and Papasai. Maybe he will do that. This is only a predicted lineup. This is only a lineup that I've went through many Spurs sources today and papers and whatever. I searched hours into this, and I've added a bit to it myself as well.
We spent 40 million on Archie Gray, dude. Why is he not in this team? Surely he should qualify for the backup 11, shouldn't he?
He should do. Maybe Ange's seen something in training doesn't like. Look, I put Bergville and Odegaard in there. Because I think use them. Werner offers nothing down that wing. He really offers.
But this is what I mean. Like Timo Werner, right? I don't particularly rate him, but again, you're talking about a player who was a German. I know he's not in the team at the moment, but he was a German international. If he's not good enough to beat a championship team, then why are we paying him 150k a week or whatever?
Yeah, I know.
If he's not a good enough player to get a job done away at Coventry, with all due respect to Coventry.
And this is where we pay Ange the big bucks to sort out these problems. He needs to take this competition seriously. He didn't last year. And look, I could give Ange a pass last season because we didn't have any Europe and he couldn't use the players in any other competitions. And we went out on penalties. So penalties is a kick here or a kick there. We should have beaten for them. But we went out and we went out not playing well. The next 5 games, Tequila, are vital, I think, for our season and for Ange Postecoglou. Look, I went on about Solanke, right? And I know you and me are both agreeing this. We're very underwhelmed with Solanke, but Boris is very much up. He will prove well. And Philip Brady, who I spoke to this morning, he rang me, said, look, he will come good. And I get all that. But if you look at Harry Kane, when he had one good season, everyone said, will he back it up the next season? He did. The first chance Solanke had against Arsenal, you hit that first time. You don't need the second touch on it. A Harry Kane or a Gimenez or a Jonathan David hits that first time. And even an Ivan Toney hits that first time.
Yeah, I mean, even though I know Philip's not coming on anymore. So obviously you can't defend his point of view, but from my point of view, saying, "Oh, he will just come good," I'm afraid there's a difference between belief and facts, and there's no real evidence really to say that you can just say, "Oh, he'll come good." He might, not he will. He might. For every one of the players like Harry Kane who does end up being able to do it, there's many more players who don't end up being able to do it every year. I can give you a whole list of names. I told you.
Yeah.
Do you remember Francis Jeffers from Everton?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Remember when he scored some goals one year for Everton? Then he was meant to be the next big thing. Went to Arsenal and then completely and utterly fell off the planet. That happens more often than not. I'm not saying that Solanke's going to be that. I'm saying that you can't turn around and say, "Oh, he will come good." No, he might.
Because he might, and also, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's the beauty of football. That is the beauty of the game we love, because everyone has a different opinion to everyone else. And that's what makes football the most beautiful game. I do have one question I've got to ask you as well. I want to do it in this sort of build-up as well. I will get onto it in a minute. Just finish off on this predicted lineup. For me, Solanke, I think Solanke needs to play for confidence. I know Colin said put Lancashire in there, but I think he needs a goal. Once he gets a goal...
Is he not injured, Mo Lancashire?
He is. I think the only players that are out for tomorrow night is Richarlison. I think Richarlison's the only one out tomorrow, and Basuma as well is missing. They're the only 2 injured players.
Okay.
As far as I know, I mean, that's the latest update I got. But look, that team should be good enough to beat Coventry. It really should be. It really should be.
Dermo, and the truth is that Solanke, 57 million or whatever, 65, whatever the number was, to be honest, I bet you that player cost more than Coventry's whole team.
Yeah.
These are the facts. These are the truths. So
we were in for Gimenez. We were in for Jonathan David, for whatever reason, and we are going to get into that into a podcast. Just very quickly, I was watching Talk Sport this morning, Tequila. I'm glad you came in because I want to ask you a question on this. And they were talking about the football regularity, that a body coming in overseeing football.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the video yet, but I've seen the thumbnails of them.
And it got me thinking. Look, the Premier League went its own way, and the EFL had a chance to join the Premier League, but they didn't, and they went their own way. Now they're struggling for money.
Yeah.
If an independent regular is to come in just to come in for the distribution of money to the lower leagues, do you think that's a good thing? But if they start getting, and then you got UEFA saying they're going to ban England from the next European Championship, they're going to ban England clubs apparently from Europe if a body comes in to overseas football.
Really?
Do you feel that? Do you feel football things should be led by football people, And the second part to the question, I know it's a two-part, so I'm sorry about this. Have the FA failed in their job in running the game?
I think to answer the first part, I think you got to be careful when you start letting non-football bodies and entities into it, because you're setting quite a dangerous precedence. Like, where does it stop, kind of thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very dubious about that happening. As for the FA, I remember you saying something about Ireland and how you guys over there were struggling to kind of create new players. Do you know what I mean? There's not enough young.
Yeah, we're a joke over here. We're a joke. Our governing body over here is an absolute best take.
And I suppose in comparison to obviously Ireland and other kind of smaller nations like that, I guess England still do, you know, their national team isn't lacking for talent. Might be lacking for a good manager, but it's not lacking for talent. So as far as that stuff is concerned, I think that the UK game is pretty healthy. But what is happening, and as you know as well as I do, is that the gap between the Premier League and all the other leagues, especially Championship downwards, it's getting to the point where every single promotion team is going down. We saw that last year. And that gap is only going to widen. So I don't have an answer for you regarding what they can do to bring it back, because it's one of the things where I feel maybe it can't be, which is a shame. I don't know if it can be brought closer. So that, you know what I mean?
But do you feel the distribution of the money should be better? And does there have to be?
Yeah.
I mean, these are going to be picked by politicians, by the way. These are going to be picked by anything with politicians going into it. I think it's leading to disaster.
No, it's not a good idea. No, I don't want that at all. I don't want it at all. The distribution of wealth, it's gotten worse and worse. It has been. You know as well as I do. Ever since they started talking about, do you remember? I can't remember how many years ago they started doing this. Maybe 20 years or something. The most expensive game in football history is always the playoff final between.
It is.
The championship playoff final. Right, it's always the most expensive game ever, and that's gotten to the point where it's gone crazy now. Because that could be worth like hundreds of millions. Because even if you get relegated, as you know, mate, they get a parachute payment, which gives them
over 100 million. They get over 100 million.
It's insanity. It's insanity.
You look at Birmingham; they spent 20 million on a player in League One.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy.
It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But listen, Tequila, we're going to leave it there. What's your score prediction for tomorrow night, mate? And where can people find you as well?
You can see a banana. You can see a banana skin, but I do think it'll be closer than it should be. But I can see a 2-1 or a 3-1 to Spurs. But I do think they're going to get a goal, and then I do think we're all going to be like biting our nails for a little bit. There'll be certain moments in the game where we'll be biting our nails. As for where you can find me obviously on this great channel. With you lads, and on the Play Pouch, which is my gaming channel where we talk about video games. Sorry again, Demo, I was late. I kind of got your message, but I popped in at the end. So little guest appearance from me. Yeah.
Well, please follow Tequila on the Play Pouch. I'm going for a 4-0 win. I think we're going to.
I love Thermo, bless you. Every time, every match. You don't even think the best thing about you, Thermo, you don't even give them a goal. You never say 4-1 or 4-2. No. It's always got to be a complete whitewash of 4-0.
It's got to happen sometime.
Well, we don't keep clean sheets. We keep like 4 clean sheets and like 37 games.
It's got to happen sometime. If it happens, I'll be the happiest man as well. Well, listen, guys, I won't be on the watch along or Tottenham Team Talks or post-match live tomorrow. Colin and Boris can look after you. I will be back on Friday where we are going to talk more about this football regulator on the podcast on Friday. I think it's a very interesting subject to get into. We're going to look back at the Coventry game, look ahead to the Brentford game, look more into this anti-out movement. Is there something there to be had? We've got a bit to talk about. But Tequila, thank you for joining me.
They're late than never, mate. They're late than never.
Yeah. Just say, some say you were born from an Arsenal fan.
Wow. There's
And
actually
just
some
some say,
Wow.
some say you also have the biggest duck collection in the whole world. He's just known as Tottenham Stick. I'm Dermot, aka Dermatron. This has been a program sponsored by Private Access Internet. Please do get your Airbnb in the neighborhood. Do pick up your VPNs. €43 for 2 years. It's great. Whatever you're doing, come on, you Spurs. Big Antry Trust. Give us your take out there. Because Boris was very funny last night.
Didn't he say something about "don't cry, everybody" or something? Didn't he say?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Don't cry. Goodbye.
Well, that's Boris's trademark, so that's you'll have to pay £700 to get that. But mine is get the voice ready. Quiz. Lovely.